Hello and welcome to this lesson on how to master pen tool in Photoshop. In this lesson, you will learn how to use the pen tool in creating simple and complex shapes. So let's get started. My name is Edo Udoma. In using pen tool in Photoshop, there are three things that I need you to always remember. Number one is letter P. Number two is the Alt key or the Option key for Mac users, and the Control key or Command key for Mac users. These three keys on your keyboard will do the magic for you working with the pen tool. So let's go into real practicals. Click on Shape tool. You can draw a shape. Press Shift down on your keyboard. You can draw a shape and even change the color to whatever color you would like it to be. This is using the Shape tool to create a shape. But what about using pen tool to create this same shape? To do that, you need to know this about the pen tool. So let's go to text, click, type in alphabet A and alphabet B, click back, select both of them, Command plus on your Command T on your keyboard to transform, click and drag to adjust, press enter or return on your keyboard and move the text away. Right, so we have A and we have B. So how do we create a shape? Every shape is created from a line, and a line is a moving point. Press P on your keyboard. Remember I told you, you need to take note of P, Alt and Command. Press P on your keyboard. It switches to pen tool. Click once. You have created a point. Click above B. You have created another point. What do we call this? It is called a line. Okay, lesson number 2 is that let's create another line. Click one. And you see what happened because the pen tool was still selected. So do Command Alt Z on your keyboard to undo that and click on the Move tool. We have our shape established, but you can't really see the shape. The question is why? So let's go to Shape tool, and right here we have shape selected. Fill is black. Stroke is no color. Click on stroke. Select red. Select the stroke width and then increase the number. You can use the arrow up and arrow down to increase and decrease the number from your keyboard. So let's leave it at 10. Press enter or return. And right here, you can see the line that I just created. Create another line. Do Ctrl Z. That is because shape 1 was still selected. So click out on an empty layer and create another point. Create another one in the center and we land on B. Now you can see the shape because it's really not a straight line like the previous one I created. And we have not 1, 2, and 3 knots, or you could say anchor point. Let's go to using the Alt key or Option key on your keyboard. So press down Alt and Option or Option key if you're using Mac, and then watch how your cursor changes. On mouse out, your cursor returns to pen icon. On mouse on, this anchor point or this dot, your anchor changes to a different shape. Click once and drag. Oh yeah, I'm creating curve. Click once and drag. You can distort the shape. Okay, let's do Command Alt, Command Z to undo that. and then it's time to use the command button. So press the command button on your keyboard down. The cursor changes to a white cursor. Click once and then click again and drag up. You can see right here that the command key is used to move shapes, play around with shapes, and then the Alt key or the Option key on your keyboard is used. You can use that to create curves on any shape. Let's move further. To press command once, click on the knot here or the anchor point here once, and then you can adjust it. Now notice something here. While I'm making adjustments on one side, the other side is affected. You can make adjustments on one side without allowing the other parts to be affected by pressing the Option key down, click once and make your adjustments. This way we have only one part of the shape is being affected. So you can leave it at this. You can continue drawing with your pen tool. Click and drag to create a curve. Click on the last point and drag to create a curve. We created such a wonderful, awesome, amoeba looking shape right here. Okay, so let's go back to command key and let's see how we can adjust it. Let's give it something, okay, like this. Okay, I really do not know what this shape is called anyway, but let's just keep working on it. Okay, so fine. This is how to use letter P on your keyboard, the command key on your keyboard, or the control key for Windows users, and Alt key or Option key for Mac users on your keyboard. Very easy. Next is, let's see how we can recreate the red circle right here. So click on Move tool, move it up a bit and go back to hit P on your keyboard to select Pen tool. Click up, drag, click, drag, click. It's not really perfect anywhere, but let's just keep moving. Click once, click on the final dot and allow it. Double click to change the color to blue. Oh wow, what a shape I created. No, but never mind anyway. That's why we have the Alt and the Command key on your keyboard to make all necessary adjustments. So click on Command key, click once and make your adjustments. Reduce the size, increase it a bit to try to follow the circle shape you see in here. Let's try to follow the circle shape. So you can do that to make adjustments. Undo. If you allow your hand, don't press any key on your keyboard, no command, no alt key. On mouse over any anchor point, you see you have minus. If you click, it deletes the anchor point. So press Command Z on your keyboard. On mouse over another part and you see a plus sign, which means you can click to add an anchor point. Press Command down on your keyboard to make adjustments. Okay, so minus deletes that out. Press Alt down to edit just this part of the circle. And that is how to make adjustments on a circle. This is really not a perfect circle, but I'm just trying to use it to drive home my point. Oh, so let's hide one and let's try some other option. Click out so you don't work on the previous shape, and then click once. This time around, I'm creating almost looking like a square shape. and then press Alt down on your keyboard, press once and drag. Press once and drag left. And immediately we have our circle shape out. This is another option, another method you can use in creating a circle. I hope you are enjoying this lesson because we are diving into creating much more complex shapes right here. So let's hide all of this, hide all of that, and it's time to move over to something more complex. So let's click in, one, click curve, drag to create a curve, click, drag to create a curve, click, drag to create another curve. Press Command down on your keyboard, click and drag to make adjustments. Click and drag up, click and drag. And I know you'd be wondering, what is he really doing? What kind of shape is he really creating? I'm not trying to create something very perfect anywhere, but I'm trying to build a little teacup anyway. So let's create the body of this teacup. Click, drag, click, make a curve, click once and complete the curve. Press and hold Command down on your keyboard. Let's make adjustments. Move the layer, click and drag down. Double click on the mask to change the color. Let's change the color. Click OK. Double click on the first layer to change the color as well. Let's make it a little lighter. Click OK. Click on shape number 6 and move it up using, let's click on the move tool and move it up using the arrow up key on your keyboard. And then you go back, press P on your keyboard, click out so you don't continue working on shape number 6. It's time to create some kind of shadow to create this little feel of depth. Okay, so right click, press the move tool, click on move tool, right click on your new shape and click create clipping mask. So it enters the layer that is directly above it. You can move it around right inside here and let's create a shape to accompany that. Click on your pen tool again, and this time around we are playing around with some kind of shadow. Click and let's click around. Press Alt on your keyboard, press and drag, and then press Command on your keyboard to move it this way. Press Command on your keyboard, press Move tool, move it around, drag and place it under. Press the Command key and go back to Pen tool, P on your keyboard. Press the Command key, click once, make adjustments. Delete that. Click on Move tool, zoom out a bit, and we have this, though not really perfect, but you can see we have a little kind of teacup without any handle, and we have a shadow. The shadow is very sharp, and but this is just cool. You can follow the technique I used in creating this shape, in creating different kinds of other shapes you can even think of. Feel free to experiment. We're going out of here. You can rasterize layer. the rasterize removes the mask tool, which means you can not edit this layer anymore using the Alt key, anchor point, and all of the selection tools provided in Photoshop for editing shapes. So with that, you can go to Fill and Blur, Gaussian Blur, and you can blur the shadow a bit. Just blur it. Click OK. Go back to Filter, Blur, and Motion Blur. And check which direction is it really moving to, and make adjustments, and click adjust it a bit. And on angle -24, click OK. So you feel free to explore on the pen tool. And thank you for watching this lesson and this video. If you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe, and see you in my next video.